Thanks for the support as a channel member, Mumongu Gaming. Part 2 of the summer transfer extravaganza then, folks. We've already spent £400 million yesterday. We're still in the Club World Championship. We've got the Community Shield to come as well. It's our final season at Arsenal, our final season in Non-League Legend this year. We're going to try and win everything. And apparently, we're trying to spend every penny in the universe too. Hello and welcome to Club 3, Part 22 of Non-League Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the rest of our summer transfers, the rest of the Club World Championship, and maybe even a cheeky little Community Shield a little bit later on. We're going to be showing you the Paris Saint-Germain Club World Cup semi-final in a second, but first there is a little bit more transfer news already. First piece of transfer news actually doesn't even concern us. You'll remember at the end of the last episode, we were trying to get ourselves an elite level winger. Well, unbelievably, he decided to go to Posh instead. Wrong season. There he is. Richard Bergueno went there instead of coming to us. They offered him a lot more money, to be fair. We weren't offering him that much. I probably should stop being quite so tight. But we didn't get him, which means we've adjusted our plans and are now aiming elsewhere. I'm looking at the wrong club now. I don't manage them anymore. Haven't for some time. The Gascon to Dortmund and Gascon, there was a Gascon to Paris Saint-Germain move as well. Both of them fell through. Nico Williams to Atletico Madrid also fell through, so both of them might be staying now. But Gregor Krutologolov looks like he's going to be leaving in a £20 million move to multiple options. I think Paris Saint-Germain, Leicester, near to £20 million. Did I sign him? Even if he came when I was here, that was very much a director of football, head of youth development kind of guy. But yeah, he's off to bigger and better things. We've also already sold Bismarck Antwi, who's another one of our youngsters that we managed to get a big pile of cash for. Finally, giving a player back to Porto. Quaresma's gone to Paris Saint-Germain as well, and those two transfers we already knew about. So with those outs, we are going big or going home with one last big in if we can pull everything together. We're going to break our record transfer for the third time this summer for Sandro Mauro, who is a 4.5-star current ability, world-class 23-year-old Portuguese goalkeeper. He's currently at Inter, where he's unhappy. He doesn't want to sign a new contract at Inter. He wants to go to a bigger club. But he's kept some clean sheets in recent years for Inter. Already got 40 caps for Portugal. This is your definition of a forever goalkeeper right here. If we can bring him in, we will win everything. But he's going to cost us the best part of £130 million to bring in. So we need to sell to buy. We've got 55 million in the kitty, and we've still got that. Where are we? The Krutogolov deal to hopefully go through. I'd like one or both of Gascon and Williams to leave. It's not essential that they do, but Gascon is our 6th choice centre-back at this point. Williams is our 5th choice right-back. They're both good enough to play in the Premier League. They're both good enough to play in the Champions League. They're both current internationals. They're just not going to play, so we may as well move them on. But we do have room in our Premier League squad, so if they do stay, it's not the end of the world. It's nice to have some strength in depth and rotation and all that. I just don't see them playing very much, and I'd certainly rather have that superstar goalkeeper than either of them. So, with all that being said, let's go and play Paris Saint-Germain Club World Championship semi-final. We're trying to win this thing, because that would be a lot of fun. And this is the team for the semi-final. It's Gilo in goal, a back four of Rashevsky, Gabriel Tamela and Williams, Carlos Alberto and Barrow in midfield, Magno, Almada and Camara supporting Delap up front. If we don't get the goalkeeper, and we still end up with 80, 90 million pounds to spend, the final job for the summer will be like a 5-star striker. I think we probably missed out on him earlier in the summer when Arab went to Manchester City, who we were looking at in the last episode. I mean, it was through no fault of our own. We were in for him. We offered him as much money as we could afford to offer him, and he just chose Manchester City instead because they were able to offer him Manchester City money. And I don't think there's going to be another real elite level striker available this summer. But if there is one, we'll find him if we don't get that goalkeeper. PSG desperately defending to clear off their line there. It's been a little bit of a theme of our Club World Cup run that we score early goals and then build on them from there. and we very nearly broke the deadlock inside 2 minutes again. And Magno, still inside 2 minutes, is clear on this left-hand side. If he can find a cross, we might do it once. He's won a penalty. That's almost as good as finding a cross. There's question marks here about whether or not he's actually inside the penalty area. I suspect he might not be. This might end up being a free kick. It's certainly a big call for the referee. Less than 2 minutes on the clock to give a controversial penalty. This is why we've got VAR, boys and girls. And the decision is, wait for it, no penalty, yeah. It looked outside. Come on, ref, use your own judgment in situations like that. Almada to take the subsequent free kick, floats it over. Camera's hovering with the ball inside the area now, looking for Gabriel, can't find him. It's back with Camera again. Magno's in again, and it ends up coming back as far as Almada now, who plays all the way across to Carlos Alberto, who's in acres of space, tried to feed it through to Camera. I think there probably were better options for him there, but Camera's come back and won the ball back brilliantly. He really wants to keep this move going. Still less than 3 minutes on the clock. Almada with the shot from range, and Magno tucks away the rebound off the goalkeeper. We've done it again. It's another very early goal. It's 1-0 to Arsenal, 3 minutes in to this Club World Championship semi-final. And I don't know that Paris Saint-Germain have even touched the ball yet. We have just been absolutely all over them in these first 3 minutes. We could have easily scored twice because the other one could have easily been a penalty. But we just, I mean, I remember this is without some of our new signings as well. We are a very, very, very good football team. And if we can keep this kind of form going, because remember, we're still buoyant off of our form that won us the Champions League and the FA Cup and forced us up into third in the Premier League towards the end of the season. We finished the season really strongly, and we've carried that form straight through into this Club World Cup. It's just whether or not we can keep the form going all season. Magno did very well there until the finish because, he's just hit that straight at the goalkeeper, which was a little bit of a weird one. Rashevsky intercepting the attempted ball forward again, and it's with Magno, who plays the ball over the top for Delap, who does well to win the ball back off the PSG defender, and it's another corner. 23 minutes gone now in this game, and it is still all Arsenal. It's going to be Almada coming across to take. He's going to curl it into this near post where Tamela was waiting, but he couldn't get any contact with it, really. I think it was cleared by the PSG defender. And are we actually going to get a little bit of a moment of calm in this game? 1.79 XG inside half an hour of this match. So it shows just how much we've been all over Paris Saint-Germain. Almada again with the cross, Barrow with the header that goes just wide. I feel like Delap maybe should be having a little touch on that and turning that past the goalkeeper, but on the stretch he couldn't quite get there. And it looks like despite our absolute dominance, it might only be 1-0 heading towards half-time. And in fact, PSG with their first attack of the game, would you believe they've got Mbappe in their team? I hadn't even noticed him in that first 40 minutes or so. That's how well we've played, but obviously he has the potential to score at will. So we kind of want to avoid him getting... They've got Mbappe and Haaland. That seems unreasonable. Utterly unreasonable. And here is Mbappe, one-on-one with Tamela. Tamela wins the first battle between those two, but it is PSG continuing the attack and Rodrigo with the shot that Gilo is equal to, and he needs to put on a performance today. He knows what we're being rumoured with. He knows what transfers are potentially going on. He knows his day as our first choice keeper might be numbered. And to be fair, we signed him expecting him to be a backup to Drogovski. He's seen him off. Drogovski's now left the club. So he might not even be that worried. He might be like, I came in to compete for the number one shirt. I'm happy to continue competing for it. I want to improve myself. We'd have France's and Portugal's current international goalkeepers if we pull off this transfer. So it's not a bad situation to be in, is it? It's similar to the super team we built at Leicester back in the beta when we had England's Pickford as backup to Italy's Donnarumma in goal. We're just collecting goalkeepers. It's what we like to do. Although I suggest these two are probably better than those two, I'd like to think. Right, there is a lot of tiredness in our attacking midfield front three thing. We're going to take them all off. He's not one of them. They were in the wrong order. We're just going to take off all three of these lot. In fact, I'm not going to do that. Undo all of this. I want to bring Saka on the right. Where is he? Saka's going to come on and play there because now Rashevsky's here, Saka, his only way in the team now. Considering he was our player of the year last year, he's got to get back into the team as an attacking midfielder. He's done his year at left back. He's a winger again now, and we've got to give him opportunities to play there. He's going to be an inverted winger. So Saka, Pedri and João Pedro coming on as reserves. It's kind of a good thing. I can see why that other winger didn't bother coming to us and went to Peterborough instead, because where does he fit into this? He wouldn't even be coming off the bench in this kind of situation because we've got 6 players in his roles better than he is. Carlos Alberto with the in-swinger, this time for the far post, looking for Delap, who couldn't get onto it, and it falls to Saka. It's still only 1-0, 15 minutes remaining, and Pedri's now hitting the post. That's how upset I am. I haven't even got the use of normal words anymore. We're making up new words because I'm so upset about what I'm seeing. They've got Jadon Sancho as well, I've just realised. I mean, you think I'm going crazy in the transfer market? Have you seen this Paris Saint-Germain team? It looks like some kind of mutant streamer showdown side. Oh, Giroud, I tell you what, we've talked before about what a good shot stopper he is. He's shown it again there. Do we really need to spend £128 million on a new goalkeeper when that guy has just done that? Because that was brilliant. Saka now with the chance for a counter-attack plays it out to Delap, who really isn't the man to pick it up for the counter-attack because he's shattered and he has ultimately given the ball away. Saka really should have been carrying that on his own. And now Paris Saint-Germain chasing through, and on 86 minutes, they force the ball past Giroud. It's 1-1, and I think we might be about to get FM'd here. This has been all us all day, and we just haven't taken the chances that have been in front of us. And we've kept PSG in the game with wasteful play, and now they've punished us for it, and it's 1-1. Hopefully it's just straight to penalties. Oh, good, we've got extra time. Of course we have. Do we get to make another substitution? Because we could really use one, because our entire team is broken. Can we bring Miliaccio on? We can. Can we make any more? Can we bring Rengifo on? No. So Miliaccio can come on. Pedri can drop back, and let's see if Miliaccio, with half an hour of extra time, can come on and be a game changer for us. Erling Haaland's in, and it's the post. Pedro, head's clear-ish, but Jadon Sancho's lurking. I don't like this. I'm not having a very nice time anymore. Arsenal we're Arsenal. They're Paris Saint-Germain. I don't even know who I'm managing now. Oh, my word. Right, we've not managed to get the breakthrough there. It's time for the good old encourage shout that we used to such great effect against Barcelona. Playing 120 minutes for some of these players is the last thing they needed this early in pre-season. This is either going to make or break them, and we'll see how fit they're feeling once we get to November after having to be put through this kind of thing, presumably in quite warm weather. Miliaccio's done well to win the ball back there. And it's Mbappe now for Paris Saint-Germain. And I think there's only one winner at this point, and unfortunately, I don't think it's us. Although Rashevsky's got other ideas, winning the ball back excellently, giving it to João Pedro, who is now turning and running, and it ends up with Delap. Back to Rashevsky again, and now Pedro looking for options. Miliaccio is one of them. He gives it to Pedri. Pedri's got lots and lots of space here, and Saka available outside him. Saka skips past his man, has the shot, but it's always going wide, and the keeper, I think, probably has that covered anyway. And it looks like we're going to a penalty shootout, which I guess on reflection is fair, but we absolutely should have won this game. There you go. We'll just see what's going on. Mbappe is up first. I mean, they've certainly got some attacking talent to take these penalties. Giroud's made the save. He has saved Mbappe's penalty, and it's now João Pedro up against their keeper for the first penalty for Arsenal, and it's 1-0 to the Arsenal. I hear that's a thing. The fans are singing it now. All our South Korean fans who are crowded into this stadium today. Erling Haaland with penalty 2 for Paris Saint-Germain, and of course, he's not going to miss. He's no Mbappe, and Romario Barrow is going to take our second penalty. 1-1, Barrow scores, it's up to 2-1. That's how maths works. He doesn't score. It's 1-1 still. And now it's going to get a little bit tense because, I guess their two biggest stars have now taken their penalties, whereas we took all ours off. Pedri's a decent penalty taker, I think. It's 2-1 to PSG. Pedri is his penalty saved. 2-1 to them. 2 penalties to go. It's Jadon Sancho stepping up now for Paris Saint-Germain. We need a save here from Gilo, and he doesn't get there. He looks so short as well. I don't know if he is a short goalkeeper. I haven't actually looked, but he looks like he's not really filling the goal anywhere near as well as their goalkeeper is. And it's Miliaccio, who did score on his Arsenal debut. He's also now homegrown in England because he's still only 20, played 3 full years at Posh before coming to us. And Miliaccio scores. It's 3-2, down to the 5th penalties from each side. Gilo's got to make a save to keep us in it, to give us our 5th penalty. And then that'll drag us through to sudden death. I need to see how tall Gilo is. That's all I care about at this point. It's only the Club World Cup. I never win this stupid thing anyway. Fernandez against Gilo, and he does make the save. We are still alive in this shootout. We are still alive in this tournament. Who's our 5th penalty taker? I don't even remember. You saw me not pick them myself. I didn't even look. So I have no idea who's going to be taking our final penalty. It is Saka, the homegrown boy, last year's player of the year. He missed a big chance towards the end of the game in extra time. He's not even stopped on his run. That's a run up that started at the halfway line. It's 4-4 now on 3-3, sorry, on penalties, and we are into sudden death. This is ridiculous. It's 4-3 to PSG, and all pressure back on us again as we look to score again to keep the shootout going for one more penalty. Rashevsky, no idea if he can take a penalty or not. Never seen him try one. Left backs tend to be quite good at penalties, though, in both FM and real life. So Rashevsky misses. Well, Club World Cup finished. At least you don't have to watch another. We're never going to win the thing, are we? We're never going to win this thing. Hopefully, this isn't how this season's going to go. The whole winning 7 trophies thing's already out the window. Let's get these transfers finished off, play the Community Shield, and then regroup for the start of the Premier League season. Not happy with how that's just gone at all. We have our new goalkeeper, Sandro Mauro, 23-year-old world-class goalkeeper, 4.5-star current ability. That'll do nicely. Yes, he was a lot of money, but, you know, he's going to be here for the next 15 years. It's worth it. Let's just give some squad numbers out as well. There's been a couple of other bits of transfer business go on. Also, we had to play a 3rd place playoff in the stupid club thing. We beat Manchester City 4-1. Liam Delap tore them apart. We've got a long way to go of friendlies before we get started with the new season. We are going to play the Community Shield in this video as well. But just checking in on what the rest of the transfers were. We sold some kid to Reading and then loaned a few players out. They've not actually been anyone other than Krutogolov actually leave yet. There are a few that should be on their way out. Smaller, who you might remember from a few years ago. He's been out on loan for the last couple of years. We're trying to sell him. Will Foster's going out on loan, the kid who made his debut in the FA Cup final and hasn't played since. He's going to go out on loan. This guy, Pizzo Malosian, we've had an offer of £7 million for him. Joshua Jackson, there's quite a few players going to be leaving. I can't imagine we need to bring in any more players at this point. Just adjust the budget to make sure we're within all budgets. If we happen to sell Gascon or Williams or both, then we will perhaps dip our toes back into the transfer water again. But for now, this is even with the 3-star filter on. Look at the strength and depth of that squad. I don't know that I've ever had a squad like it. That'll do. We've worked through lots more summer, and as you can imagine, there's nothing else going on. There's a couple of players leaving, mostly on loan. There might be a couple more youngsters leaving permanently as we just try and redress some of the balance of money going out this summer. We've got a £54 million balance in our projection. I was going to say it doesn't look too bad, but it looks quite bad. But that's going to be someone else's problem because we're only here for a year. Lovely old stuff. So one thing I have noticed, if we go to the Premier League, I know this isn't the quickest way to get there. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. But if we go to the Premier League and the season preview, you'll notice we've now moved up to 2nd favourites. We were 3rd favourites at the start of the summer. Clearly, our transfers are going down quite well. And we've also got an additional player in the Dream 11 now. Morao, our new goalkeeper, is the Premier League Dream 11 goalkeeper. Brand still in at right back. And actually Rui Camara's in up front as well as one of the best players in the Premier League, as well as my conundrum about whether or not to turn him into a striker continues. I mean, attribute-wise, as an advanced forward, tell me what he can't do. He'd be a brilliant advanced forward. The only problem is he's a pretty good right winger as well. 27 goals last season. So probably no reason to mess with him. If it ain't broke, don't fix it and all that kind of stuff. But if we are struggling for goals, then we can definitely throw Camara up front if we need to, I think. So things looking good in the Premier League. The only team supposedly better than us is Chelsea. Weirdly, a Chelsea still managed by Frank Lampard. And that's who we face now in the Community Shield at Wembley. So this is going to give us a real good indication of just where we stand this season, and also gives you the opportunity to meet some of our other new signings as well who weren't available to play in the Club World Cup. So Morale's coming in goal, Brand at the back, and Chewalski in midfield. So it is a team of Morale in goal, a back four of Asante, Gabriel, Brand and Tamela. I'm playing centre-backs at full-back again. It's what I do. The Rashevsky's injured, as is Martinez, which is one of the reasons why Asante's in at left-back. Tamela just hasn't played as many games as Remy over the course of the pre-season. So it's all about getting everybody to full match fitness. They're all pretty much there. But it was Tamela's turn to play. Chewalski and Barrow going to be in midfield. Then Magno, Miliaccio and Camara supporting Delap up front. Look how ridiculously strong that bench looks now as well. It is an absurdly good bench. We are a good side. And I really hope you actually see us play really well today, unlike we did against Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, Paris Saint-Germain, to be fair, went on to win the entire Club World Cup. You saw the ridiculous wonder kid packed team that they had. For us to hold them to a draw and it to go to extra time shows just how good we are. We thumped Manchester City. We beat them in the Champions League final as well. And if we can beat Chelsea comfortably here, then I think we can safely call ourselves favourites for the Premier League title. But it's a big if, because Chelsea were a very good side last year, did win the Premier League. That's why they're in the Community Shield. And Frank Lampard in this universe is apparently a really good manager. Who knew? Magno intercepts the ball there and gives it to Camara. Remember, we do have a thing this summer of scoring goals really early in games. We start games very, very brightly. And we've done it again here. A minute on the clock and we've got a corner. It's going to be Miliaccio to take. Looking for that in-swinger who's looking for Brand. In fact, we probably need to adjust our corner instructions. Now we've got Brand in the team, because at 5'10" and not great in the air, there's probably not much point in sending him forward. So we're probably going to adjust them before we get into the league games. There's no point messing around with it today. But we could just leave him back. There's no reason to send him forward for corners. The best defender in the world can stay back at all times, and it's probably not going to be a bad thing if he does. Especially our fullbacks are a little bit bigger, especially today. In fact, we might just switch it around for today, because the fullbacks are both big centre-backs. Or in fact, Asante, I don't think is big either. He's 5'11". Tamela is 6 foot. None of them massive, but you know what? We want to beat Chelsea. Let's send Brand back and send Tamela forward. And we can put Gabriel on the near post like that. And again, just swap those two over. And I've got to remind myself I need to do that again before the league season starts, because obviously changes to set piece instructions and stuff that you do in the middle of the game don't carry over and save into the tactic itself, which has always frustrated me. Chelsea playing a very, very attacking defensive midfield too, though, with Havertz and Odegaard as their two central midfielders. It feels like that should be an area we should be able to exploit, but we're not really doing it yet. Miliaccio should be having a field day, though, hovering in front of that back four. But he isn't so far. They have got De Ligt in there and Donnarumma in goal, so they're a very strong side defensively as well. I'd like to think us bringing in Brand and Morale this summer has made us just as strong as them defensively. That was Chelsea's big strength last year, just how good they are at the back, which I guess is why they don't need to worry so much about that midfield. Did you see the save Morale made there, by the way? That's what you spend £128 million on. A Miliaccio trying to get a counter-attack going. Magno's completely mishit that, which is a bit of a shame. But now Camara on the other side. Cross comes in looking for Magno, but Donnarumma is a big boy and just plucks it out of the sky. If he's any shorter than he is, that drifts over him, and Magno's got an easy tap in at the far post, but Lautaro Martinez is in, and Gabriel showing why he's given away a penalty, showing why we might get rid of him. I mean, he's 31. Kieran Tierney didn't make it to this age. The difference between the two is Kieran Tierney at 30 was a 2.5-star player. Gabriel at 31 is a 4-star player still. So at the moment, he's getting a nod alongside Brand, but you know how many good centre-backs we've got who can potentially partner Brand. I'm a little bit wary of playing Brand and Asante together because they're both under 6 foot, but it might not matter if they're both really, really good, which of course they are. It's nearly £200 million worth of defender. So we'll see. We'll see how things develop. But it is 1-0 to Chelsea at half-time, thanks to that penalty. And I've got to say, I feel a little bit hard done by for the penalty being given away, because it looked like a solid tackle from Gabriel. As you heard from the commentary, the tackle seemed fine, and a little bit of a harsh penalty is given. Odegaard with the free kick now for Chelsea, and Delap has just nicked the ball off from there, and he's clear. If Delap can finish past Donnarumma here, it's 1-1, and he's got a little bit overexcited, hit it really hard. Donnarumma makes a save, and we have another corner early in this second half now. Miliaccio curling one in again, and it's Tamea. That's why you make a tactical change. We swapped the two of them over, and the swap pays dividends. Tamela is there with the header. It's 1-1 on 54 minutes. I shouldn't care as much about the Community Shield as apparently I do. But, you know, I want all of the trophies. This is all about, ultimately, it's all about getting above Dr. Benji on that Hall of Fame. I don't know if you get any Hall of Fame points for the Community Shield. We probably would have done for the FIFA Club World Cup thing if we'd have actually won that. But we need to win some stuff this year, as much stuff as possible, to make sure that when this series ends, we're above him. God, I can't be below him. I just can't bring myself to be below him. Right. Chelsea on the attack again, and we need to get a tackle in here. Asante needs to just get his foot in. He hasn't, but Rui Camara comes away with the ball on the counter-attack again, and it's 3-on-4, although Chelsea are getting players back quickly now. Tamela's come up for support for Camara, and Camara's now drifted into the middle to be an option for a potential cross, but Tamela has just stood there and drawn the penalty, and that one felt more like a penalty than the one we gave away. It's 67 minutes on the clock now, and it's going to be Romario Barrow with the chance to put us 2-1 up, and he does. Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1. 2 penalties is not going to please the purists very much for a big season opening game like this, but who cares as long as we end up doing cartwheels at the end of the match. That's all we really want. Right, I think it's probably time for substitutions. I think we can still make 6 changes in this, unlike in the Club World Cup, so we are going to rotate some things around now. Saka is going to come on this right-hand side. We're going to bring João Pedro on up front. We are going to bring Almada on the left. We're just picking the players who are most tired. Who have we still got? I think we can bring on all 3 of the outfield players still. So Remy can come on at left back. And then Gascon can come on for Gabriel. And then Rengifo, we may as well just bring him on for Barrow in midfield there to play him in his strongest box-to-box midfielder role. So 6 substitutions made with 25 minutes to go-ish. Another opportunity to have a look at different players playing in different roles. Remy getting some more time out at left back. He is either-footed, so can provide cover. He's a bit of a Kryju if we're comparing back to last season's non-lethal legend. He can do that Kryju role of covering both fullback roles very, very well. Saka has just won us another penalty, and it's a carbon copy of the first one, although this time it's Saka rather than Tamela who's just hanging out there waiting to be fouled, and fouled he was, and this time it's Thiago Almada, and he puts it in the exact same spot Barrow did, and it's now 3-1. A third penalty of the afternoon, 2 to us, 1 to Chelsea, and fingers crossed, this is another competition win, another one to tick off. Let's drop a little bit of praise. We have played well, especially as the game has gone on. In this second half, Miliaccio is tiring fast, as is Tamela. Would have been nice to just be able to change the entire 11 in this game just to make sure we're all fully fit for the start of the new season, but I think we'll probably be okay. And the great thing this year, comparing this squad to last season's squad, is we've got so much more strength in depth that if Miliaccio's not fit for the first day of the season, we'll play Pedri, we'll play Almada, we'll play Chewalski can play in there as well. It's, you know, we've got so many options in different positions now that if we don't win the league this year, I will allow you to call it a bottle job right from here, because I think this is one of the best teams I've ever put together at this point. Oh, Pedro really should finish it. That's the one thing we're missing. A real elite level striker. I've talked about it all summer over the last couple of episodes. If we were doing another year, which we're definitely not, this is definitely the last year. But if we were to do another one, that would be the final piece of the jigsaw. A real elite level striker, 5-star, proper superstar, £200 million striker. You can just slot in and know he's going to hit 30 or 40 goals a year for the next 10 years. And then this just becomes the team that dominates Europe for a decade. Once that final piece of the puzzle is put in place. There was too many P's there. My word. I hope the pop filter was working. But here we go. We are winning. We are winning. We've won the trophy. We have a trophy presentation. We're getting so used to these now as part of this save. I think Remy will be captain today. He's our new vice captain. Is that Remy that we're handing it to? I don't think that is Remy. I think that's Gabriel again. So he's getting it. I guess he started. Oh no, he went off. Who is that? Can we click on him and find out? We can't. No idea then who that is lifting the trophy. Oh, hold on. He turned around a bit there. I think of course it's João Pedro. The club captain came off the bench, didn't he? I forgot that he came on. Yeah, so João Pedro, we have a first cartwheel from the new keeper as well. And that summer, I think, has gone really rather well. I don't think we could have done any better transfer-wise than we have. It would have been nice to win the Club World Cup, but we've righted that wrong with a Community Shield win. The team is looking fantastic, and I think we've got a very, very good chance to do something very special this year. There's a potential signing. 18-year-old, 5-star potential, £3 million or so fullback. Might well have a little bit of that with this little bit of it. I mean, he's not going to do me any good, but I can't resist a player like that. Right, tomorrow's episode, we will play our first Premier League game of the season, and then also the North London Derby European Super Cup edition at Stadium Municipal in Toulouse. It's going to be Arsenal versus Tottenham for the European Super Cup. That's going to have some spice to it, I think. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.